First up, you're going to see our American bison. These animals used to roam around our country during the 1800s in herds of tens of millions, but due to westward expansion and the implementation of our railroad system, their population dwindled to a few mere hundred. Conservation efforts have helped to increase their numbers though, and they're doing fairly well once again in the wild with a population of about 18,000. Baby bison are called calves, and they'll remain that reddish color for the first year or so of their life before turning into the darker brown that you see on the older bison. To the right, we have one of our two antler species here at our park, and that's our Roosevelt elk, named after former president and active conservationist Theodore Roosevelt. Males will have antlers while females do not, and those antlers grow in the springtime and fall off at the end of mating season. That fuzzy texture on the antlers is a layer called velvet, and that velvet layer provides blood circulation, so it stimulates the growth of the antlers, and they'll fall off before the antlers are ready to come off at the end of mating season. To the left, you're going to see our second antlered species of the park, and that's our fallow deer. These animals are closely related to white-tailed deer that you find here in New Jersey, but unlike white-tailed deer whose spots fade as they age, our fallow deer will have those white spots for their entire lives. Once again, the males have antlers while females do not, and those antlers grow in the spring and fall off at the end of mating season. Apparently, he didn't want to be brown anymore. Also see a large bird roaming throughout this section, and they are a rhea. They're a flightless bird from South America. They belong to the rat-type family, which is a family of flightless birds that includes the rhea, ostrich, and emu. Male rhea have a ring of black feathers around the base of their neck, while females do not. And the females have a pretty sweet life, because once they lay their eggs, they get to fly off and do whatever female rhea do in their spare time. While the males take over the incubating of the eggs for 40 to 45 days, and then raise the chicks once they hatch. To the right, you're going to see one of our male Roosevelt elk has started to shed that velvet layer on his antlers, so that means his antlers are getting ready to come off. So some more on our rhea. While they are a flightless bird, they do have large wings, and they're going to use them to help them balance while running, as well as to ward off predators. To the left, that white rhea you see is our leucistic rhea. And leucistic animals, unlike albino animals, are able to produce small trace amounts of melanin or pigment, so instead of having red or pink eyes, they're going to have blue eyes. And then, of course, what would the Americas be without geese? They're not actually part of our tour, but they're always here. Alright, joke time! What's the difference between bison and buffalo? Buffalo have wings. What do you call it when you lend money to a bison?
Oh, you're good.
A buffalone. I'm going to need one of those in a few weeks. I leave for college next Friday. So we're now going to be entering Africa, where we'll find our African elephants, our white rhino, and our grand zebra, as well as a few other animals along the way. The first animal that you'll see momentarily coming up on your right is one of our ostrich. Ostrich are the largest and fastest birds in the world. They can reach heights of up to 8 feet tall, and males will have black feathers, while females have brownish-gray feathers. Both the males and females will incubate the eggs and raise the chicks once they hatch. They can weigh up to about 300 pounds. Speaking of 300 pounds, that's how much this next animal you're going to see on your left can eat. They are our African elephants. They're the largest land animal in the world and can weigh up to 7 tons. Both male and female African elephants have long ivory tusks, and those tusks are actually incisors that will never stop growing. They are poached for those tusks, but a recent ban on ivory trade has helped slightly with conservation efforts. Our elephants are what we know as a keystone species, so if they were to go completely extinct, other animals in their habitat would suffer as well.
That's weird.
Their ears are filled with hundreds of small blood vessels, and they help with blood circulation by taking warm blood away from the body and returning cool blood back into it. And their trunks have over 100,000 muscles in them, and they can use those trunks to lift something as small as a penny to as large as a tree trunk. Coming up on the right, you're going to see one of our ostrich nests. Each one of the eggs that you're going to see can weigh up to 3 pounds and is equivalent to about 2 dozen chicken eggs. So if you're like, oh, once you know what sort of eggs to start investing in. Some more on ostrich. Like I mentioned, they're the fastest birds in the world. They can reach running speeds of 45 miles per hour for short distance and 32 miles per hour for long distance. And once again, they have large wings that are going to help them to balance while running as well as to ward off predators. And pretty cool fact about ostrich, they can actually outrun cheetahs because they can run for that speed, for a longer period of time. So they can hold up that 32 mile per hour speed for a couple of miles, whereas cheetahs can only hold that speed for a few meters. grabbing their trunks. How do you stop a rhino from charging? That or you unplug it. So to the right we have our white rhino. Like all rhino, they are endangered as they're perched for those 2 horns on their head. And those horns are made of keratin, which is the same material that makes up our hair and nails. They're then ground up into a fine powder and mixed in with traditional Eastern medicine. To the right, you're going to see some of those ostriches, so you can once again tell how the males have the black feathers, whereas females have more brownish-gray colored feathers. We also have our grand zebras coming up. A group of zebras is called a dazzle because they use a tactic called motion dazzle to ward off predators. What motion dazzle is that when grouped together, zebra stripes will blend, and it looks like one giant animal as opposed to several small animals. And since no predator wants to attack something larger than itself, they tend to leave the zebras alone. The baby zebra is called a foal, and they're pretty incredible animals. Only 25 minutes after birth, they're able to stand, and within an hour after birth, they're able to run full speed away from their predator. Like a human fingerprint, no two zebra patterns are alike, and contrary to popular belief, they're actually not white with dark stripes, they're dark with white stripes, and you can tell because the skin around their muzzles, in their ears, and at their pasterns is darker. Coming up on the left, we have our marabou stork Fred. He is a scavenger, so he'll eat meat. His wingspan can grow to be up to 10.5 feet wide, and he's quite possibly the grumpiest bird you'll ever meet. He doesn't like people very much. To the left, you're going to see our water buffalo. These animals are what we call beast of burden because they were used on farms for the heavy lifting and for pulling carts around. So basically, they performed any of the jobs that were considered a burden for people to have to do. And look at that! The geese made it all the way to Africa. We're now going to be entering the wild plains where we'll find some more of our ostrich, our peafowl, and our different species of African gazelles and antelope. But first, we're going to find our game goat Jimmy on the right, so everybody wave to Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
And these lovely animals that you see crossing the road right now are part of our bachelor herd of black buck. They're also our escapees of the safari. There is small antelope species from Africa. Both males and females are born a fawn color, and then as they age, the males start to turn black. That's the name, whereas females stay that fawn color. And males will also have those twisted horns, while females do not. You'll also see our peafowl throughout this section. Male peafowl are called peacocks, and they have the blue, green, gold, and black feathers. Female peafowl are called peahens, and they're brownish-gray in color, like our female ostrich. Are then called peep chicks. Now everybody, why couldn't the peacock play soccer? Because he was always fouling. Because they're peafowl. To the right, you're going to see our common eland. They're the largest antelope species in the world. They can weigh up to 2,000 pounds and reach heights of up to 6 feet tall. While they're the largest antelope species, they're also the slowest and can only reach running speeds of 25 miles per hour. While they may not be able to outrun their predators, they most certainly can outjump them. When frightened, a common eland can jump up to 8 feet in the air. They're a grassland animal, as indicated by those white stripes on their back, and those stripes help them to camouflage and hide from predators. Along the fence line, you'll see our Pisa oryx on the right. They're a desert animal, and since they live in such a hot climate, they need to conserve as much water as possible, so they're able to raise their internal body temperature to match the outside air up to 116 degrees Fahrenheit, which in turn prevents them from sweating. The white and brown animals you see coming up on the right are our Jama gazelle, and they're the largest and rarest gazelle species in the world. Their long white legs, like the elephant's ears, help with blood circulation. They are endangered as they're poached for their meat and fur, and they're also victim to habitat loss. There's only about 250 of them left in the wild, and only about 700 in conservation today. And then coming up on either side of the truck, you're going to see our ellipsis waterbuck. These animals got their name based on the white ellipsis shape around their hind ends. Who knows? Maybe they're sponsored by Target. When they go into the water, the ellipsis waterbuck are able to secrete an oil which will then waterproof their coat.
That's awesome.
To the reticulated giraffe momentarily. So once again, please make sure you're keeping your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times and do not try to touch them, please. Male giraffes can reach heights of up to 18 feet tall and can weigh over 4,000 pounds, while females can reach heights of up to 16 feet tall and can weigh over 2,000 pounds. Like humans, their necks have 7 vertebrae in them. Their legs are about 6 feet long, and since the females give birth standing up, the babies will fall 6 feet to the ground when born. But don't worry, it doesn't hurt, it just builds character. At least that's what my mom would say.
Oh my God.
These giraffes are actually going through what we call a silent extinction because it's not very well known about and it's not voiced by many people, but their population has decreased 40% in the wild due to poaching and habitat loss. Bridget, look this way. There we go. I love it when they actually listen to me. Coming up on the left, you're going to see the cousin of that piece of oryx you just saw, and that's our scimitar horned oryx. These animals were actually completely extinct in the wild up until only a few years ago, when a herd was then released from conservation into the country of Chad. But just last year, the first scimitar horned oryx baby was born in the wild in over 30 years.
Is that giraffe eating their food?
Probably. Yes. What can I say? Apparently, our giraffe meetings that take place every hour on the half hour are not enough for them. So we're coming up to the halfway point of our tour, which is Camp Aventura. Here you can get off and participate in our giraffe meetings that, once again, happen every hour on the half hour. So the first one of the day is starting about 15 minutes. We also have goat feedings every hour on the hour. Our 90-foot zip line, the SORA eagle, and we have some of our smaller animals here, including our tropical birds, our reptiles, and our giant anteater archie. Did anybody have any questions so far? If you are going to be getting off here at camp, please make sure you have all of your belongings with you.